Good evening and welcome to the inaugural edition of On the Fly Cooking, brought to you by Sofa King Productions. Tonight this whole thing is about the average person cooking. I have a buzz. You can cook with a buzz. Sometimes, this isn't a drunk cooking show, but I happen to be buzzed tonight.
I have had a couple of alcoholic beverages.
I have had a couple of alcoholic beverages. And, but this is about average people doing average cooking, but maybe with things that they haven't tried before. So tonight we're doing country style pork ribs in the house. We're not going to put these out on the grill. We're going to do these in the oven. And they're going to be so Sofa King tender that you're starting to see how that comes together now, right? They're going to be Sofa King tender because this is Sofa King Productions. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Just like Roseanne, sometimes I might smoke, but I will not put the ashes in my food. So welcome to the inaugural edition. Do it when it happens, right? Here we go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get these country style pork ribs out of the package. Now they've been in the refrigerator. They're cold all the way through, right? They was cold when you bought them. You brought them home. You put them in the refrigerator. They need to come down in temperature a little bit because when they start cooking, the warmer they are when they start, then they got a head start. So let's just pull these bitches off of here. And I've got a baking dish here. Just the best way to do that if you don't have a baking dish is to if one of your friends has like a Sam's Club card or something, ask. Oh, that one looks like a fish. Look, that's fucking crazy. That looks like a damn fish, but it's a piece of pork.
You want to make sure it didn't come out of the river.
No, it didn't come out of the river. Oh God, look at this big piece. But yeah, if you have any friends that has like a Sam's Club thing, they sell these by the 2 or 3 pack for near nothing, and you just can't beat them. I mean, good Lord, look at that. Those two are stuck together. There's a real world example of whatever. But we want to get these out here. We want to get them away from each other and we have much more surface area now exposed to the temperature in the room. Look how much fat's on that one. I'm going to set that off to the side. And here we go. Now, let's take these two right here, and not that one. But these two right here, they have so much fat, and these things are going to cook slow, and we have a shallow baking pan that we're going to use. So that fat's going to melt, and it's going to turn into a liquid, and you don't want to put yourself in a position where if you for some reason want to pull this out during the cooking process, that the pan is so full of liquid that you're going to spill it. So I'm going to trim off this excess fat here on these, and this one is so much fat and so little meat right here. I'm just going to say hell with it, because it's just me, and just hack off that end right there. The cats would love that. I should throw it outside. I think I will. Kitty, kitty. I guarantee you that will not be there in the morning. Somebody's going to come and get that and take it. But get rid of all that excess fat like that on these really, really fat pieces. And you notice I'm not cooking with fancy knives. You look at how many passes I'm taking at this, trying to get it cut off of there. This is not the Fancy Cooking channel. This is Sofa King Productions. So there, look at that. Much better, right? This one here, I don't even know what to tell you about that. I think I'm going to come across the fat right here like that, take that good piece, put it on there. And again, the fat to meat ratio on this is just, you know, what's the benefit really? If you was really frugal, cut off that big old hunk of fat right there. Again, this is for the purpose of not having so much hot fat in your pan that when you take it out of the oven that you risk burning yourself with you know, hot oil, you know, or fat, right? So, and there's really nowhere in the pan to put it. I'm just gonna stack it there. So again, all right, this is all about you know, just everyday cooking, and you know, things that you see when you're at the store. And this was like $11–12, and how many issues am I going to get of that? You know, because it's me. I'm a single male, and so I'm going to eat a lot on that. So for $11–12, that's a hell of a bargain. And but I've got them out of the package. They're not stacked in there side by side, retaining the coolness. Now they can sit out here and start coming up to room temp. And we're going to season these, and that's the next step before they go into the oven. Okay, so now it's time to start working on how we're going to spice up these ribs. And I've got just a little plastic thing here that I got like 4 of them from the dollar store for $1.25 for that. And so here's the spices we're going to use. We've got some salt and pepper, right? That's natural. We're going to do some chili powder to give it some, well, some chili powder taste. Got some ground cumin here. Cumin gives it that smoky flavor as if it came off the grill, so that's kind of nice to use. And garlic powder and onion powder, these two, I mean, make a lot of things taste really good. So I think you can't go wrong, but the question is how much? Well, if you look at what you got, and I try to imagine if I was doing it by hand, I'm thinking a tablespoon of salt. And I think most of this stuff I do is going to be a tablespoon. There's a tablespoon of salt. Now pepper, I like the fresh cracked black. I get these things that you grind from the bottle. And it can take for hell and ever to get the same amount of pepper. But I'm just not down with, you know, the red and white package of pepper that's already, you know, ground pepper. I'm just not down with that. I'd like to get somebody who really likes me, cares about me. If y'all get me like an electric or battery powered pepper grinder, you know. Okay, so let's get some pepper in here. You can hear it crunching up them big pieces, right? And so that, you know, pepper flavor is sealed into you. Crack it open and you get better pepper flavor. Oops, almost knocked it off the thing. So by doing this, I usually don't end up with as much pepper as I would really like to have because my arm gets tired. And my arm's tired. Okay. Cumin. I'm just going to go with a teaspoon of this.
A teaspoon of this helps the rest of you.
And if you miss a little bit and you get a little bit more, hey, that's fine. Teaspoon of cumin. I'm going to go with a tablespoon of the garlic powder because I want that. It's going to give it not only the flavor, but it's also going to give it a look. Because we're not browning these before they go in. So I'm going to go a tablespoon of garlic powder. Then I'm going to go with a teaspoon of onion powder. Sometimes, you know, you use, if you're like me, you got these seasonings in your cupboard, but you don't use them a whole lot. They get kind of hard. You got to break them up. Teaspoon of garlic powder. Garlic's good for you, good for your heart. Teaspoon of onion powder. All right. So there's the rub that I'm going to use. That simple. And so I'm going to mix this up, spread it over the pork, and get it ready to go into the oven. Alright, normally I'd probably wash my hands at this point, but shut up. Got my buddy Donnie in the other room here, and he's making fun of me. Alright, so nothing gained, nothing lost, nothing ventured, whatever. I'm going to use all of this, what's left, because that's what I did it for, right? Get it on there. Okay. Alright, so when you cook in the oven, I mean, there's different kinds. You know, there's dry heat cooking, there's braising, there's, I guess in the oven, I don't know, but, so this is going to be a dry heat, and braising is you put some liquid in there to let it start steaming and help cook the meat. That's braising. Dry heat cooking is you're not adding any liquid, and so we're not going to add any liquid because as the fat melts, it's going to make the liquid, it'll start steaming, it'll drip back down, it's going to self-baste. How? Because we're going to put some aluminum foil on it. Alright, so aluminum foil. You know, we get our boxes of aluminum foil. Here's a tip. We get our boxes of aluminum foil, and on the ends there's a thing that says press here to lock in roll, because if you don't do that, when you go to lift the thing, how the whole roll wants to come out, go ahead and look at the end of your Reynolds. We all buy Reynolds unless we're buying whatever, you know, even the store brands. It'll say press here, and it's a hollow tube, and basically it's just putting a tab in that tube to keep the roll from coming out on you when you lift it. But so anyway, we're gonna take this and we're gonna seal that up. It's not gonna be a perfectly tight seal, but it's gonna be enough to keep it, the liquid, you know, from just escaping out. And it's going to help to cook it and make it more tender. Our oven is at 325, and this is going to go for 3.5 hours. Now, once you put this in the oven, there's no peeking, there's none of that. You know, every time you open up the oven door, the heat that comes out, once you close the door, you got to give it 10 minutes just to get back up to the temperature that it was set at so it can continue cooking. This is one of those you don't peek at. Going in the oven, 325, 3 hours and 15 minutes, you can check, but, you know, all right, here it goes.
And say it's a meal that even a living man can afford.
Huh?
It's a meal that even a living man can afford.
Yes, this is the living man food. And so the thing we're going to do here is make some sauce to put onto some of these ribs that are coming out. You might not want to season all of them, or, you know, sauce all of them. You might just want to sauce some of them, but so anyway, this would be the sauce. I am going to take, I'm going to look in the dishwasher here. I'm going to take this little saucepan, and now that my Hunt's sauce is, you know, ready, willing, and able to come out, let's get some of that in there. That doesn't take a whole lot because we're just going to brush this on to the ribs, so that was just a little bit in the bottle. It served its purpose. I want to take I hate to use a cutting board for this, but I'm not. My grandma was hollering in my ear, "Don't cut on the countertop." I'm gonna take a tablespoon of butter. I'm just gonna dip, or drop that in there, get the paper off of it. Oh God. I was just having a flashback of my father-in-law. He made himself a cheese sandwich one time, and he forgot to take the plastic off the cheese. Okay, so tablespoon of butter. I can't believe I just dirtied that thing just for that. Looks pretty good. Cooking on the fly. Funny how things don't work out the way you want them to. Okay. The barbecue sauce is a little thick. I like to cut it with some apple cider vinegar. Out of the way. Some apple cider vinegar just to thin it out a little bit. And it gives it that little... Just go by sight. And just to give us some attitude, some Frank's Original Hot Sauce. Now, Frank's Original Hot Sauce is, to me, one of the best hot sauces out there, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you're ever doing chicken wings and you get the Frank's hot sauce for wings, it's even hotter than this. This brings a lot of flavor and some heat, and this is my favorite part. I'm not afraid to use, a reasonable amount of it. But if it was the one for the wings, I'd be... So, it's just a mess right now. This butter is going to melt, bring this all together. I'm going to get that on the heat, make a little sauce. Ribs are coming out in about 5 minutes. It's just a matter of heating this up and melting it, brushing it. It's all good like that. Welcome back to this final segment of the first and inaugural edition of Cooking on the Fly. 3 hours and 15 minutes have gone by, and we've taken our, I called it a baking dish earlier, but it's a sheet pan. We've taken our sheet pan of ribs out of the oven, and so now we're gonna, unveil them. I was really careful when I pulled them out to keep the pan level, in case of any liquid. And we're just gonna pull this off. We're going to get rid of that. And there is, I don't know if you can see this or not, there's it's hot. There's quite a bit of liquid in the bottom. It's that fat that melted, steamed, dripped back down on top of it, and just a cycle, and makes everything really tender. Now, as far as tenderness, I would say this is a pretty meaty looking piece right here. I'm just going to take my fork right down in, right up, no problem. And there's some fat there, but I mean, tender is tender. There's, you can't question that. Now, just take this one out here. Twist the fork, falls right apart. See there? That is tender, tender, tender. So next time you see Western style pork ribs on sale, I mean, you say that's one. If you got a big family, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 people, say 6 of them are adults, 3 of them are kids. Everybody's going to get plenty, for $11 for that, for the meat. Come on, that's a good deal. Tender. Okay, good. You can't get any more tender than that, and the flavor is really good. So we had this sauce that we made, which I'm going to grab here, as well as a brush. All right. Here we go. And this is actually a paintbrush that I got from the Lowe's. And so when I mixed together the ingredients from the bonus segment, oh God, and cooked it, so the butter, see it now? It's all just together now as a single thing. Cooked it down so it thickened back up a little bit. I'm just going to load up this brush, and this one is begging for it right here. Nice big meaty. I'm coughing from the vinegar that's in here. Get that on there. You don't have to do all of them, do some of them. Give yourself a break between the, spicy and not spicy. Unless you're just a totally spicy kind of person and you want it on everything, then do it on everything. But I like to give myself a choice between spicy food and not spicy food. Guys. So that's going to conclude the first and inaugural edition of Cooking on the Flaps, and by Sofa King Cool Productions. And now, when you go to the grocery store and you see those, country style pork ribs on sale in the middle of the winter, you can do it at home in the oven. Delicious, tender, main course, $11. Lots of folks. Cook well.